the books are opened, and the final judgment is rendered.
Jesus Christ! Where am I? Can anyone hear me? Jesus Christ!
Behold, the throne stands is Samuel. This man is a devoted follower of Christ. He was born with different pores on his face, which made him very ugly before men. He was mocked and rejected by several women, such that it was impossible for him to find a partner, as no lady wanted to be around him.
You ugly fool. Listen, this should be the last time you say this to me. You're so ugly. I'm not even your type, so stop this rubbish.
Each refusal carved something out of him, until loneliness became his only companion. He watched his friends find love with ease, while his own heart grew colder, whispering, "Why not me, Lord?
Lord, why me? Why did you create me this way? All my friends have sweet partners."
This rejection and loneliness kept growing till he had no other option than to start masturbating in order to ease his body out. Day by day, the altar in his heart gathered dust. The fire that once burned against temptation now flickered beneath a mountain of guilt. He told himself, "It's only human. God understands weakness, but weakness, when coddled, becomes a doorway." And through that doorway, darkness crept in. He continued masturbating until he became so addicted that his spiritual fire in him went off. His enemies in business, those who once could not touch him, sensed it that his spirit is now getting cold due to masturbation. They kept on attacking him through a dream on a daily basis and finally killed his spirit. Each day he wakes up, he always thought it was just a nightmare, without knowing that the spiritual always controls the physical. He kept on working, masturbating and doing his daily life activities, without knowing that his spirit man has already been defeated. While going to work one morning, an unknown bullet from an unknown source struck him to death. Behold, I present him before the greatest judge of all times.
Holy One, please hear me out. You call him faithful. Faithful to what? It is written that whoever sows to please the flesh, from the flesh will reap corruption. He preached purity but entertained corruption in secret. He quoted, "Resist the devil, and he will flee." Yet he invited me nightly with his own hands. He prayed for revival while nursing the very chain that choked his spirit. Did not the prophet say, "Your iniquities have separated you from your God"? So, why pretend heaven abandoned him? He built the wall himself. Look at his record. Yes, he's a Christian, but behind closed doors he kept on masturbating and watched different lustful videos online which totally deemed off the fire of God in him. When he used masturbation to weaken his spirit, my agents now came in and defected him finally. Even at that he had chances of recovering, he thought those dreams were just ordinary. He continued masturbating till the day he died. He thought the blood of grace would cover deliberate sin. But even Paul cried, "Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid." Yet he continued. So, when his hedge fell and I found him weak, I did not need to touch his flesh. He had already surrendered the battlefield of his mind. The dream he called death was only true of catching up with him. Righteous judge, you said, to whom a man yields himself, that one becomes his master. He yielded to me.
So this is it? After everything I've suffered, you call me unclean because I tried to survive being me. You saw me, Lord. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw what they saw. Ugly, unwanted, nothing to desire. I prayed for a wife, for someone who would see past my face. Nothing. I watched my friends find love, watched them build homes, and I stayed behind. The joke, the leftover. And yes, I masturbated just to release the urge. What was I supposed to do? Pretend I wasn't human. You made this body. You gave it these desires. How could the same thing that lives in everyone suddenly become sin in me? I never cheated, never touched another man's wife. I never went out chasing women like the rest. I only wanted to ease the pain. Even Paul said it. It is better to marry than to burn. Well, what happens to the man who has no one to marry? Should he just burn forever? You say I lost my spirit, but you watched as loneliness broke it first. You let me be mocked. You let me be rejected. And now Satan called me guilty for trying to feel alive. Wasn't David broken? Didn't Elijah cry to die from loneliness? So, why am I here, treated like I chose this darkness? I kept praying, I kept giving, I still called your name. If my weakness made me unworthy, then who here is worthy? If this is justice, then mercy was just a story.
You speak of pain as though it were a license to rebel. Was it not written, each man is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desire and enticed? Loneliness did not force your hand, desire did. You think you were too strong and physical. That's why I came in with pornography and masturbation. Through it, I was able to weaken your fire with God and strike your spirit immediately. Through the dream, you accuse heaven of silence. Yet heaven gave you strength even after your spirit has already been defeated. You had much time and grace to come back, but you believed it was a normal dream and continued masturbating. When you felt unseen, instead of kneeling, you escaped into fantasy. Did you not read, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God"? Your heart was never pure. It was polluted by the images of different women dancing and shaking for you. You chose to recall. You opened the door, and I only walked through it. You were warned, flee youthful lusts, for they war against the soul. This is where you boys get confused. Youthful lust is not fornication alone. It comprises of pornography and masturbation. Holy One, please grant me the soul, for he belongs to me. Samuel, you say you were lonely. Did I not whisper, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest"? But instead you sought comfort in what could never love you back. You sought comfort in activities that will totally destroy the good deeds you've strived to build. Every human, beautiful or handsome, is created for a purpose in my own image. There's a life and partner I have already destined for you. Why did you choose to mock your creator by talking down on yourself, Samuel?
I was tired of being alone. Every time I looked around, everyone else had someone to love them. I am a human being. I really craved for that emotional space of being with the love of my life. Any lady I approached kept on rejecting me. I thought if I just masturbated small, I could focus on you again. But it pulled me deeper, and I didn't know how to stop. You think I wanted to fall. I hated it. Every time I did it, I promised to do better. I fasted. I begged you to take the desire away. But it never left. And when my business started falling apart, when I started having dreams of death, I thought it was just a random nightmare. I still came to church. I still lifted my hands. I thought maybe, just maybe, you'd remember the good in me. I wasn't evil, just tired, alone, broken.
You said I was only human, but I made you more than human when I placed my spirit within you. You said I tried, but I did not call you to try. I called you to die to yourself and live in me. You called your loneliness a burden, but it was a bridge I built to draw you closer. Instead, you filled the silence meant for prayer with the noise of self-pity. You blamed rejection, yet forgot that all man in my own image, and everyone has a purpose on earth. When I warned you, it was not to shame you, but to save you. When I withheld what you wanted, it was to keep you from what would destroy you. But you mistook protection for punishment, and mercy for silence. You feared being unloved by men more than being separated from me. And so you lived for comfort instead of communion, for pleasure instead of presence, for the moment instead of the master. You started masturbation and lusting over different women on the internet and think you will still have the same fire you had before. You started small and got so addicted to it that each time you come across a sermon on the internet about masturbation, instead of allowing my spirit to convict you at that moment, you will look for verses and points to counter the sermon and justify yourself. For it is written, that no idolater or fornicator will ever inherit the kingdom of God. Your soul has been weighed on the scale of eternity and found wanting. Let the earth listen. Let every soul that still breathes understand what has been shown here today. I created the rich, the poor, the beautiful, the ugly, the tall, and the short. Everyone has their purpose on earth. Do not allow any one body shame you. You were beautifully made by me, and even before they gave birth to you, I knew you and I knew what you will become, so don't worry. Just leave everything for your Creator. You saw a man fall not in a moment, but by many small permissions. He called masturbation comfort and silence peace. He fed what weakened him and blamed the loneliness I meant to heal. So I speak now to every heart that hides behind excuses. You who keep secret habits and say, it harms no one. You who defend what drains your spirit because everyone does it. You who fill your mind with songs that stir the flesh and call them harmless art. Have you not read? Out of the heart flow the issues of life. Whatever you feed in the dark will rule you in the light. Every melody, every image, every secret indulgence writes its mark upon the soul. You say, I am strong enough, but even Samson, strongest of men, fell when he played with desire. You say, it is only in my thoughts. But did I not declare, whoever looks with lust has already committed adultery in his heart? Guard your gates, the ear, the eye, the imagination. These are the doorways of the Spirit. The enemy needs no invitation greater than your attention. He does not destroy with violence first, but with suggestion. But hear this also, mercy still stands while breath remains. Let the one who has fallen rise through repentance. Let the one who feels unclean wash again in the blood that never dries. Let the one who has drifted return before night falls. For the hour comes when this grace won't be available again. Christ died and gave dominion over sin. You now have the mercy and grace to get forgiven no matter what you have done. While still alive, the moment you loose your breath, that mercy is gone. You are now left with how you lived. The mercy is available now. Grab it now, because death will come at a time least expected. And after death, you won't see this mercy again. If you are not ashamed of me in public, comment, Jesus, please deliver me from any spirit of sin in me. Like and share this message so that the light of my word will reach more souls. Subscribe to this channel to continue hearing my true word. May my unending grace continue to see you through all the days of your life.